Hello everyone, my name is Philip, and thank you for joining me on my otherworldly adventure for 5 amazing nights of thrills and chills at the 17th Annual Toronto After Dark Horror, Sci-Fi and Action Film Festival, screening at Scotiabank Theatre in downtown Toronto. Day 1 began with an introduction by the festival director and founder, Adam Lopez, where he introduced the opening feature, Late Night with the Devil. This film was screened along with short film sole proprietor by Scott Riopel. Late Night with the Devil, the scary horror hit of this year's South by Southwest and Film Fest circuit spotlights 1970s America's fascination with the occult. Facing cancellation, a late-night talk show host played by David Dastmalchian tries to spike his audience ratings by producing a Halloween TV special for the ages, featuring a live-to-air exorcism. As the night unfolds, the chilling event spirals out of control. The second feature on opening night was The Last Exit, also known as Little Bone Lodge. Festival alum Matthias Hoene, who was the Audience Choice Gold winner for COCKNEYS vs. Zombies, returned to Toronto After Dark with this riveting, dark, twisted thriller that expertly blends suspense, mystery, and horror. 2 criminal brothers on the run seek refuge in a desolate farmhouse in the Scottish Highlands. After taking the resident family captive, they discover the household's even darker secrets, including a fearsome family matriarch played by the acclaimed Jolie Richardson, who plans to turn the tables on her captors. This film was screened along with short film Mystery Box by Thomas Morrison, Marco Panza, and Jason Kerr. Matthias Hoene also stayed back after the film for a live Q&A, where he gave away free merchandise of the film. So sit back and enjoy the raw, unedited footage of the first day at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival. Thank you for joining me on this otherworldly adventure. I hope you did find this insightful and entertaining. Please do share your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with fellow travelers. Until next time, journey on.
Good evening, Hoene to Toronto. Let me make some noise. I'm so excited. Welcome to Toronto After Dark 2020. My name is Adam Lopez. I'm the festival director and founder. It's my great honor to welcome you here to our sizzling 17th edition. 17 years! Who's been coming more than 5 years to Toronto? Anyone been here since 17 years ago? Yes! Wow, we love you people. Thank you so much. It is a real labor of love, this festival, as you guys know. So we're really, really happy to have you back. And we have, especially for our 17th edition, just released tonight, an awesome new t-shirt illustrated called 70s After Dark, full of 70s horror icons. You can get that at the merch table outside, and we expect those to sell out really quickly, so snap them up while you can. Before we get into tonight's films, some thank yous that we like to do every show. Please give it up for our wonderful hosts and basically our sponsors as well, Cineplex Entertainment, and the Scotiabank Theatre staff for hosting us all here. Really appreciate it. And please also keep the claps going for our dedicated Toronto Dark team and our wonderful volunteers. Two of our daily departed volunteers who be with us. Please give a special cheer for Kevin, who passed away, Kevin Evans, and also Harvey Lalonde, who is with us from the group. Harvey is actually, I want to say some personal words. 17 years ago, I was coming up with the idea for this festival, and I remember sitting in a coffee shop, and someone said, "You've got to talk to this guy. He volunteers for every event in Toronto." And you know, he still was doing that right up until last year. And he gave me lots of great ideas for how film festival runs, who to talk to in the industry, who to hire. He helped find some of our staff, including the wonderful Peter Koplowski, who enjoys Kid Midnight Madness. So, Peter, Claudia, Scott, thanks to Harvey introducing us, and Trump Dark, and the rest is history. So, Harvey is part of our DNA from the very beginning, and we're going to be honoring him at the end of this festival by doing a poll of our volunteers, and we'll have something very new to the inaugural Volunteers, Harvey Lalonde Volunteers Choice Award. For the volunteers pick of Best Feature Film at Trump Dark. So that will be added to our awards as well. So give it up for Harvey. We'll be remembering you, Harvey. I normally do a lot of thank yous at the end, but I do want to especially say here at opening night, it is October 18th. It is the 2-year anniversary of my stage 4 cancer diagnosis. I was only given a year to live. I'm so grateful for all the support of so many people in this room, keeping me going, keeping me fighting. I'm in it to win it. I've got most of my cancer gone, and I'm going to keep going. Including this week, where 2/3 of my hair fell out in the shower. But I know it'll grow back, and I'm going to find that cure. I'm still doing better than almost anyone said I would do, and I'm on my journey, and I've got science behind me, and lots of people helping me behind the scenes, and the love that you guys give me every month for my cancer updates. I know I'm going to win this, and I'm working on it, and I've got this fight to win. Someone who I really want to thank, it's also October 18th, it's not just the anniversary of my diagnosis, but it's also the birthday of someone very dear to me, my life partner. So on the count of 3, we're not going to sing a whole song, but if you could just join me in saying, "Happy birthday, Maria," I really appreciate it. So 1, 2, 3, happy birthday, Maria! Thank you so much, sweetie, for sharing your birthday with one of the freaks and geeks here at TADFF. All right, let's talk about some of the movies that we've got coming up. So straight after tonight's opening gala film, we have The Last Exit. This is a returning director who saw COCKNEYS versus Zombies a few years ago. So this film is nothing like that, which won an award at the festival. But we do have a returning director here who has got something very special, and this is more of a dark, twisted thriller, all set in a cabin in the Scottish Highlands. Fantastic actress Jodie Richardson fighting off a home invasion, and it's full of twists and turns. If you haven't got tickets or you haven't planned to go see it, it is an absolute hidden gem. So check that out straight after. Tomorrow we have sci-fi night. Any sci-fi fans in the audience? Yeah! I grew up in a big space cadet, so tomorrow I'm going to be especially happy to present to you and introduce UFO Sweden, inspired by the true story of a bunch of UFO spotters in Scandinavia, and some supernatural goings on. I would describe it sort of as Close Encounters meets Stranger Things, and a bit of Interstellar as well. So very, very cool. And then we have Restore Point at 9:30, which is, any fans of Blade Runner? Yeah! Very Blade Runner-ish, set in the 2040s Czech Republic, where there's a lot of cyberpunk technology going on, and people get cloned and replaced. And there's a conspiracy theory, and it's very, very cool. So we've got the director for that as well. So check that out, and plenty more films to come from now till Sunday, all at our website at TrumpDark.com. Short films. Any fans of short films at Trump Dark? Yeah? Short Dark this evening, we are playing a Canadian short in front of every feature. That's something I love to do, is that we get to promote local up-and-coming talent. We've got some great stuff this week, but here to introduce his short, Sole Proprietor. Please give it up for returning short film director, Scott Riopel. Thank you. And I loved your cover letter where you were submitting your film, talking about how you did well last time, but you wanted to do better. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, our last film in 2018, Split Decision, we won silver medal for Canadian shorts, and we're going for gold this time.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to say first off, how much of an honor it is to be back here at the Toronto Opera Film Festival to screen our film in front of a packed-out crowd, kicking it off in the opening gala. you know, it's truly unbelievable. I think I just I gotta look at my list here. Okay, hold on.
As long as your intro is shorter than your short.
And well, that's the big part. And to be standing here next to you, the legend, freaking Lopez. Guys, give it up for having me. It's unbelievable what you created with this festival. You know, following it from the start. I remember seeing Rubber way back in the day. Rubber, so I'm gonna be here one day. You know, so it's amazing. And you know, when we do make these films as a Canadian filmmaker, this is where you want to be. You know, this is Toronto After Dark is the one that's circled on the calendar. It's the one that you watch list on Film Freeway. You know, it's you want to be here. And I couldn't have asked for anything more for our film than to be here right now in this room, kicking it off this year with you guys. So again, thank you and your team for having faith in our film and giving us such an amazing platform here in Toronto, the greatest city in Canada, and one of the biggest drama festivals in the world. We are forever grateful to my cast and crew who were able to make it.
So everyone that are here tonight, give a cheer if you're Nova Scotia partner. It's so lit fast, but we were able to get in. We got our cast for sure, and some of our crew. And we're just all very excited to be able to screen in our hometown. This is like I said, this is where we want to do it because it's everyone we really care about, and it's Toronto, man. We love it. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you for the rest of the week, and come to the Filmmaker Social as well. People can ask Scott more questions about us for sure. And we're just thrilled to support local talent, and we think we've got a very special jam that is thematically tied with our feature film. So that's kind of cool.
Thank you very much, guys. Please enjoy Social Fire.
Thanks, Scott. So our feature film tonight, Late Night with the Devil. Who's ready for a spooky time? So I really love this feature for a number of reasons, one of which it is set around Halloween, which is just perfect. A Halloween TV special around the time of year that we are set. It's retro as well, 70s, so a little bit of a conjuring vibe. I don't want to say much more about it because I don't want to spoil it, but there is definitely a bit of an audience participation thing going on in terms of what you're seeing, you're behind the scenes on an actual live taping of a late night chat show. So I think it'll be kind of cool, you as an audience, to watch another audience and see that sort of unfold. So, I don't want to say much more about it. We have the directors excited to be here. They are actually Australian based, even though this is an American set late night show. And they've taken a little intro for us, so I'll say a few words to Karen's brothers. But I said, I didn't spoil that, so let it happen, let it unfold, and you guys get the eeriness of what they're doing here. It's a very, very special jam. There's no trailer, so it's just word of mouth that has helped pack this theater out tonight. They are going to be releasing it in the coming months, and the team behind it are some of them are here in the audience here tonight, who will be working with distribution. So do get the word out about this and all the films of Toronto Dark. Tag us at TADFF. Say what you loved about the films. If you didn't like it, maybe don't mention it. But get the word out. Cheer and holler and clap at all the great moments in the films that we have. We have great kills, great shocking moments, great one-liners. But please don't talk through the films. Respect the filmmakers here. I think they'll really appreciate that. And without further ado, if you kindly turn off all your digital devices, that would be great. And we'll see you after dark for the rest of the week, all the way through to Sunday. Thanks for coming.
I am Richardson, the festival's international short film programmer and guest services coordinator. Firstly, some thank yous to our main sponsor and venue, the Cineplex and Scotiabank Theatre. And of course, huge thanks to our amazing volunteers and dedicated staff. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge this land on which Toronto After Dark takes place. For thousands of years, has been the traditional land of Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and Mississaugas the Credit. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to work and celebrate film on this land. We have We have a fabulous fest planned for you, and I absolutely must plug our short film programs. So be sure to check out our Canadian Shorts program Saturday at 4 p.m. and my International Shorts program on Sunday at 4 p.m. Okay, now to tonight's films. Before each feature, as many of you will know, we show a Canadian short, and tonight's is Mystery Box. We are thrilled to have filmmakers in attendance and like to invite them on stage for a quick intro. We have Thomas Morrison, Marco Panza, Jason Kerr, and Daniel Sullivan.
Yeah, it's really exciting to be doing this because the first time I went to Toronto After Dark was 9 years ago. It was to see Dead Snow, it was the premiere, and I was like, I mean, I'm still not good, but I was significantly less moneyed, and it was a nice way to save money to dress up like a zombie and you get a couple bucks off the ticket. I applied all the zombie makeup and blood in the Starbucks that used to be next to the old theater, the like Hot Docs Annex Theater. Came out of the bathroom, the other bathroom broke while I was in there. There was a lineup of about 12, 13 people that saw me walk out, not only covered in blood, but also the toilet, the sink. Could not be washed off. I lost half of my chest hair when the fake blood dried. It was a great time. Anyway, it's been a long road. Now we are here showing our own short film that was shot in Toronto, all with people from Toronto and the surrounding area. You can literally walk 10 minutes to the shooting location, and just really hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, sorry, I should probably thank Daniel, our actor, my fellow screenwriter Jason, Tom's our director, Adam from Eggplant and Peter, and Sarah, and Ben, and there's probably a lot of other people, but I don't think all of them showed up, so they won't know.
Okay, wonderful, thanks guys. Here. Thank you. And to our feature. So we are lucky to host the North American premiere of The Last Exit as part of our opening night. This is a treat, particularly because we have festival alum Matthias Hoene returning with this film. He previously visited TAD way back in 2013 with his film COCKNEYS versus Zombies. Was anyone here for that? Myself as well. This is different. COCKNEYS versus Zombies won our Audience Choice Gold Award winner that year, by the way. Hopefully the same will be in store for The Last Exit. All right, let's give a warm after-dark welcome to Matthias to say a few words about his film.
Hey gang, how are you? What a pleasure to be back. It was so great. 10 years ago, time flies. My third film now. Excited to be back. So why don't we celebrate not by words, but by taking a selfie together.
All right.
There we go. Thank you. That out of the way. You know, COCKNEYS versus Zombies, my first horror comedy. Really loved making it. I went on to make another film, and then Little Bone Lodge was kind of me trying to do something very different, very character-driven.
Different title.
Yes, sorry, it's Little Bone Lodge, aka
The Last Exit.
And it's a character-driven, dark, weird piece that I came up with Mia Limpo, who is the writer and star in it, during lockdown, and we wanted to make something really small and contained in one location that takes you sort of by your neck and then keeps dragging you to places that you don't see coming. So that's what's going to happen. And if you stay around for the Q&A afterwards, we have lots of swags, a brand new vinyl release, a DVD, 4 different posters, and t-shirts, one of which I'm going to throw to someone. Whoever screams loudest now! Bring the t-shirt down. And we have lots of things to give away, and lots of anecdotes about the film. Great working with Richardson on it, and it was descent into method madness on the film, and I hope it translates onto the screen. So enjoy.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Matthias. Please turn off the cell phones and smartwatches and anything that might have a screen, and let's settle into the last exit. We'll see you for the Q&A. Cheers. Okay, so now let's start at the beginning. Where and when and how did you come up with this? Where did you start?
Well, first of all, thank you for watching this film. I hope you liked it. And you know, all in all, thank you guys. Sorry about anything you say about it is much appreciated, and thank you for taking the time. So, where did I come up with that? Well, my first film was about two criminal brothers. This one is about two criminals on the run, and I was brainstorming with Neil, who wrote the script and who's in it. I sort of met him through work.
Who is Neil?
Neil Lindpo is Jack, and he, like, both him and me were like, after both my first films were like crazy genre crossovers, zombies, heists, time travel, yada yada yada. I wanted to do something really straight and contained and just sort of show, character-driven, actor-driven film that kind of keeps surprising you, goes darker and weirder and crazier than you could anticipate, basically. So starting as a home invasion movie, but then sort of twisting into a really weird psychological thriller with a horror element. So we kept just trying to top ourselves to how dark can we go.
And are you happy with how you kept topping yourself and topping yourself?
Yes, very
Yeah.
happy. It was kind of, the Bella in the amputee room was sort of a little bit like, there was moments where I felt like, okay, tonally, is that going to work? Are we going to lose the audience here? And the ending as well, which kind of goes a little bit satirical with the music and stuff. Again, I was like, is it going to work? But I'm glad we went there, and I think it's funny. Jolie Richardson was supposed to dry hump Carl, and she was like, that's not strong enough. Can I maybe go into his pants? And do something? Yeah, exactly. So that was her idea.
That's her idea.
Yeah.
No, I think it all definitely came together and worked very well. It was just like, what was going to happen next? I did not expect, is it Bella?
Yes.
Birth mom? Yeah, that was like, okay, we're just, next level, next layer here. With the cast, I wanted to ask about Maddie, the younger brother.
Yes.
I mean, the whole cast, very strong, of course, Jolie. But the Maddie, I looked him up, and he's only had like a couple other roles.
It's his first movie.
Oh.
Same for Sadie Sobral. He's just been in a Netflix series. It was called The Fuck It Bucket. It's called something else now. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's good.
Incredible.
Yeah, he was great. He was like a force of nature. I actually, because it was still COVID, I actually just cast him through Zoom, and I didn't look at his height. I thought he'd be like this height. And he turned out like that. Whoa! But it all worked because he's sort of lanky, and then Jack is kind of the bulldog. It sort of all worked itself out. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You mentioned the title of the show changing. Your film. So we saw it as a screener as Little Bone Lodge.
Yes, so it's called Little Bone Lodge in all of the world.
Sure. I didn't realize.
T-shirt as well. But the Saban felt very strongly about Little Bone Lodge sounding too much like the lodge, and they wanted to give it a more sort of thrillery title. So that's where Last Exit came from. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the middle name.
Yeah.
So
The Last Exit is? Or
yeah, exactly. So I think I like the idea that it's, because it is really more of a thriller with a horror twist than a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
So I went with it. Sometimes it's a small indie movie. We were lucky that Saban picked it up. And I think they were very adamant about it. So there we go.
Right. Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I'll throw to the audience shortly for questions. I wanted to ask about the set. So both like external, like farmhouse, farm, and internal. Did you film like actually in a farmhouse?
Oh yeah. So like the whole farm location was okay. So we did look in Scotland, didn't find anything. we found a place really near London, which is the entire farm. Basically, that building is the farmer's grandparents, and they passed away, and they just kept the building as it is and rented out for film shoots. So we filmed like the whole thing on that sheep farm, and then I went to Scotland to film the landscape shots and like that sort of stuff.
There was that, like this tiny detail at the start of the film, like when we first meet Maddie and he's in the bathroom and he like bangs his head on the mirror and like this little poof of dust came out. And I was like, is that real dust? Or did they work to get that in? Was it just like part of an old bunker?
I actually spent 2 weeks and did like 150 tests of dust to get it just to look exactly like I imagine it in my head. And it was just perfect. But it took enough. It was actually a dusty old bathroom. It was great.
Yeah.
So when it happened, it was a lucky accident.
Yeah. Okay, throw to the audience. So questions and swag. When you ask a question, a volunteer will come and grab swag from Matthias and hand it in. I do see a hand right in front of me here. Hi. Go ahead.
Tell us about the music score. It was really beautiful.
Question was about the music score, and we'd like to hear more about it.
I really appreciate the question. You're the first one that talks to me about music, so you can choose which poster you want. You want the they will have the international titles. You've got these, and you've got the eyes one. You've got the they're all falling around. You've got the bird cage mum one, and the hidden threads one. So you need to tell me which one you want.
Would you like to come down and grab one? Is that easier? Or?
Yeah, maybe do that.
Or do you tell a volunteer?
So about the score, so like it's a collaborator of mine called Chris Carmichael, who I met on my last movie, which was scored by Klaus Bardelt, and he was working as his arranger. And I really hit it off with him and worked with him ever since. And what I wanted to do is after just pick whichever one you want. Because like the second film is very much in that sort of Hollywood melodic action adventure score with heavy road musicians, I wanted to go much more experimental on this one and really kind of like try not to influence the audience with the music, try to keep it really subtle and make it very sound design based. So we worked really a lot on creating these experimental soundscapes for to kind of almost mirror the psychological state of the actors. So like in terms of the bits I'm most proud of was like the first music when we see Matty in the mirror, like with his knife, and like we hear kind of what's going on in his head without it being described. By the way, you have to come back. Because you asked about the music, you're going to get the vinyl record. And we used like a mix of really traditional old school instruments, like I'm credited as the Viking violin player, which is like this 3-string 1,000-year-old instrument that can really make a melody but sounds very scary. Here you go. And like sort of try to keep the experimental and kind of that kind of creaking of the house, the storm sounds, the kind of all of that stuff, but mix that in with modern synth sounds, and then a few kind of distinct melodies. Like we have the melody for the medicine, we have the melody for Matty, and a few themes that kind of build throughout the film to kind of make it a little bit both emotional but also like creepy and under the skin.
Fabulous. Okay. And the question I see far hand over there in blue.
Yeah. So my question, I thought Matty was like a fantastic depiction of autism without being too up there and being too like not. Was it like, do you have somebody in your life who inspired that, or?
So he's not autistic.
I think. Yeah. Okay.
No, like Actually, the longest time in prep was spent on thinking about Matty, because when you portray, it's such a sensitive subject to portray a neurodiverse character on film, and we had a sensitivity advisor who was autistic and taught us a lot about what to do and not to do. So we didn't make him autistic. We never spoke about what he has. It is a learning disability, but also what I learned in the process was that you never have an autistic or neurodiverse character in a soap opera where the neurodiversity is not like a subject of the story, where they're just a character like everyone else. And that's kind of what we tried to do here, that Matty is just another character. We don't really make it more than necessary out of who he is or what he is. So that's what we tried to do, to treat his character with respect and just make him part of the story as everyone else. Because all the characters in the film, are a lot of have their backstory, their issues they deal with. They're all dealing with their kind of fractured upbringing, etc., etc. So I didn't want to treat them in any way different to anyone else.
Every character dealt with some sort of torture, horrible abuse. And it was interesting, even with Jack, like when he cared for, Macy, Jenny, and she even asked why he was even trying to help, right? Because he was presenting as a bad guy for a while there, and then he's like, I just gotta get out of here. It's just like about the humanity thing. This is crazy.
Yeah, and in a way, I tried to make us like every character at one point. However, you can understand why they do it. Mama has, she was abused as a kid, so she wanted to create a perfect family that was taken away from her, and then the only way she could deal with that is to make another family for herself, which is really interesting.
Absolutely. Okay, question? I see some hands. Okay, in the front row here. Yeah.
Sorry. So I feel like, in spite of how awful they might all be because of their actions, there's a way you find to redeem them all. Not that they're doing good, but they all have certain motivations. How did you work with your writer and your actors to find a way to humanize them all?
Well, I think there's a lot of warmth and heart in that. Same with my film After That, Warrior's Gate, and I think it is just about treating every actor, every character you deal with respect and with understanding, not labeling anyone, but trying to understand why they're doing what they're doing and trying to bring that out on the day, and then knowing, I guess, their motivations and what's, I think when you work with actors, of course, what they say is one thing, but then what they think in the subtext is another thing. It was definitely a very method set. Matty, Harry Cadby started by sort of being in character all day long, writhing around on the floor, and then, a young sort of holiday camp, everyone sort of started joining in. So then, Sadie was crying all day. Jack was punching walls to get angry, and only Jodie Richardson, who was, the super crazy professional, she was just like, I'll just do my craft. But then on every take where she had to cry, every take, at the same second, a tear would roll down her face, and you just go like, wow. Yeah. So, and then question for you: T-shirt or poster?
Honestly, I love your T-shirt, and if you have something like that, I would love
I think we have time for a couple more questions. I can't see Brett to the side. For 5 minutes, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't see you. Okay. Question. I see a hand up on the far, am I right here? Go ahead. Yeah, where can we find it?
You know what? I don't know where it's going to be distributed in Canada yet. I think because you asked the question, you can have a Blu-ray release if you want, from the with special extras and making offs and behind the scenes and stuff. So, but I think It's going to be probably streaming here, to be honest.
You know, for other regions, other countries?
So like, yes. It's going to be streaming in the US. It was HBO in South America. With a small cinema in the UK. So it's sort of, you know, it's not a studio film, so it's kind of mix and match around the world.
All right, thank you.
A little bit like COCKNEYS versus Zombies, which kind of like was released a little bit step by step, but people still watch it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I see, I think an orange or pink shirt can in there.
Yeah, I just want to highlight the score for the photo booth scene.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you were driving. I really appreciated the like ignition starting, but you had like a rhythmic element to it. It was a nice touch.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. And then also another thing I noticed at the very end, the boy, the initial boy that you thought was hers, it was actually the boy belonged to another family, right?
Yes.
Yeah, percent of credits, right?
In the photo, was that the?
Yeah, just like one last scene. I wasn't sure if that was like a little Easter egg or.
Also, I'm going to do a shameless plug because you can also buy those posters and t-shirts on my website.